Hobby Quick Hits. Delivering that breaking hobby news directly to your earlobes. You want to know those hot drops from the card shop? We've got you covered. With your host, John Newman.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 168 of Hobby Quick Hits, another double show review. Had two shows, my local show, which was the big Megashow, the last one until March, locally here in Syracuse, and the following weekend, that monthly show that I've started doing in Watertown, New York, which is about an hour north of me here in Syracuse. And one thing I've learned in many years of doing shows, card shows as a dealer, sometimes size does not matter. And we're going to talk about both of those shows, how I did, things I saw. Going to be a short and sweet episode, but we're gonna cover the show ground, if you will. So, with that being said, that's what this episode is about.
Okay, now a quick word from our great sponsor, followed by the new product release schedule. Then we'll go around the Hobbyverse to tell you all the latest hobby happenings and news. Then we'll tackle today's topic of discussion.
Hi, this is Pat Hughes, Cubs announcer, coming to you from the Sports Card Shop in beautiful New Buffalo, Michigan. The Gocher family has built an incredible place here for collectors to buy, sell, and trade cards and memorabilia. Be sure to stop by and let them show you around. TheSportsCardShop.com, connecting sports, athletes, the hobby, and collectors around the world.
Hi. This is Alan Pinkett, and I'm here to tell you the Gocher family has done it again. They've just opened up the Sport Card Shop in downtown Valparaiso, Indiana, and it is awesome. If you're a collector, you need to check this place out. Tell them Alan sent you and get a free gift on your first visit.
Let's check out this week's Hobby Wax releases. Take it away, Owen.
Hey guys, I'm from Sports Card Shop. Let's get into the week releases. On the 15th, we have Tristar Hidden Treasures Football Mini Helmet Platinum Edition Series 2. Upper Deck Artifacts Hockey. And moving to the 20th, we have Leaf Perfect Game National Showcase Baseball. Onyx Premium Baseball Collection. Panini Flawless Collegiate Football. Upper Deck The Cup Hockey. And then moving to the 22nd, we have Onyx Vintage Collection Football, Panini Donruss Football Factory Set, Pieces of the Past, One Time Edition Series 2. Moving to the 27th, we have Keepsake Football Premier Edition, Top Scroll Major League Soccer, Upper Deck Ultimate Collection Hockey. Moving to the 29th, we have Panini National Treasures Baseball. And then going to the 3rd, we have Panini Prism Football Hobby. And then finishing off with the 5th, we have Leaf Metal Draft Baseball, Panini Immaculate UFC. That would be it. See you guys later.
Let's go round the Hobbyverse and catch up on this week's hobby news.
And find out. All right, wasn't sure what story to lead off with, but let's lead off with the 2023 Bowman Draft, now out. Crazy money for packs and boxes, and the hysteria is being led by Tom Brady cards in the product, including autos. And I've seen base cards with $1,000 bids. It's kind of crazy. I don't necessarily get it, but it doesn't matter whether I get it or not. That's the reality of the situation. Needless to say, I will not be opening any. And I got asked just not too long ago, earlier today. Do I think these Tom Brady's will, number one, be worth it and keep up this pace? And the answer is no and no, right? I'll bring you back to 1991. Remember, if you're old like me, you remember 1991 Upper Deck and the SP1 Michael Jordan card when he was working out with the White Sox. And that card was like that back then in 1991 price levels. And we all know that card, while still cool and still kind of in demand or desired today, can be had for, $15-20 in raw form, and not crazy price in graded form unless you're buying a 10. So I just don't see this being sustainable. It's the initial hype, and I'm going to enjoy watching from the stands when it comes to Bowman Draft.
We couldn't be more thrilled to introduce the newest member of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani.
$700 million for said Shohei Ohtani. That was the Dodgers introducing their newest member of their ball club at their press conference. Again, $700 million. I read how it's going to be deferred on the back end. I think baseball needs to look at that, about the legalities of that and salary cap implications. But this is not a sports show, so we'll leave that there. Another big name player switching coats. Ohtani's not switching coats, just teams. But Juan Soto going to New York. No, not my Mets, but the Yankees via trade. And those are two big name hobbyist, heavyweight parts of the hobby. And it will re-spark interest in both of those gentlemen's cards. Not that they needed a lot of help. Their performance on the field is pretty good as well, but just the buzz with a new location will create a new set of fans that maybe weren't fans before. And so we can't overlook the hobby impact of those new uniforms. So that's what this piece was about. Art Lewicki, former Major League pitcher, not great, brief stint in the majors, mostly with the Detroit Tigers, is now a sports car dealer. Something his dad has been doing. He kind of joined forces with his dad and just made some news for one of the biggest unopened vintage finds in quite some time. And him and his dad purchased those. So those will be going to some to auction, some probably sold privately, but lots of late 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s unopened wax and other product there. So look for auctions starting very soon. Shout out to Leaf. Leaf has produced a 20-card multi-sport, multi-star set, and the money going to autism awareness. Autism is something I deal with on a daily basis. What I do with my job as a teaching assistant in the special education department at the high school level. A percentage of the kids that I work with, who are all great, by the way, have a diagnosis of autism. And so it's near and dear to my heart. And kudos to Leaf for producing this set for the benefit of that affliction. And I'm going to be purchasing some of those sets, and we're going to give one away here as a show giveaway announcement to come soon there. But if you want to purchase one, I believe they are $20 at Leaf's website. Head that way and pick one up and know you're doing some good in the process of enjoying the hobby. Huge auction sale to report through Sotheby's. Lionel Messi's 6 jerseys worn during the 2022 FIFA World Cup final. were one lot put together. All 6 jerseys went as one sale, one lot. $7.8 million was the winning bid, the highest ever, I believe, for a soccer item. A portion of those proceeds will be going to Unicas, Barcelona, which is a children's hospital in Barcelona, Spain. So it's a win-win. Winning bidder gets 6 historic jerseys, and a children's hospital gets some money to help them out. Staying on the soccer front, Panini got some good news. Their relationship with the FIFA World Cup, as far as licensing goes, will be extended right through 2030. So they will have that FIFA World Cup licensing for another 6 years.
And now, our feature presentation.
All right, time to talk about my double show review. Again, 2 weekends in a row with a show starting on December 3rd with my big fairground show. That is a Sunday show. Did okay. Did very well on the SGC side. Not great on my personal card side. Did okay. No, not a bad show. Just not a great show, but lots of SG submissions, which kind of put me over the top, if you will. And so it was a good show overall. Was hoping it was a little bit better, but I've had really good luck with the Syracuse show. So I was kind of due for, again, not as great one as probably I have been having. But again, probably set a record when it comes to SGC submissions for that show. So all's well that ends well there. Didn't see a lot of people going around trying to sell cards, so I didn't get to buy any cards, and didn't really walk around a ton. So funny story from that show, if you will. A gentleman came up to me and said, "I know you," and I just figured he was going to say, he listened to the podcast or whatnot. He asked if, I had went to this, Liverpool High School. And I'm like, yeah, I graduated in 1990. And he said, so do I. So did I. And you're John Newman. And I'm like, yes. And I didn't recognize him still. And he said, hey, I'm Alessio. And as soon as he said Alessio Gadice was one of my friends in high school. And I didn't recognize him until he said his name. And, he had more hair in high school, as most of us tend to do. So once he said his first name, I recognized him, said his last name. And I hadn't seen him since high school. So that's 1990. Do the math, folks. 33 years later, he shows up at the show, and we start chatting. And so we'll probably talk some more. I know he's going to submit some cards for grading, and kind of crazy, 33 years after the fact. So good show. I've talked to Lynn Lake, the promoter. I'd love to see that show move to a Saturday. I think it will be, if that could happen, it would be a much better show potentially. So let's talk about the second show now, which was the following Saturday, the 9th. And a small show, Watertown, New York. It's the second time I've been up there, about an hour away from where I live. And I only get one table and an SGC table. They've asked me to do SGC for the show. Did okay the first time I was up there. Did all right, too, on my card side. This show started out pretty slow, to be honest with you. It was slow enough that I actually called in to Hobby Hotline from the show and did some videoing around the show. And so around around 11 o'clock, it looked like it was gonna kind of be sort of a low key. I don't want to say dud, but not a great show. And in the never count your chickens before they hatch in a good way department, I had one heck of a second half of the show. The show runs till 4 o'clock, and that got busy about 11:30, and I was busy till 3. I sold a bunch of Peyton Manning rookies, Ken Griffey Jr. autos, made some big sales, had over 70 cards on the SGC submission side, which is a lot for that kind of smaller show, and really had a gangbuster second half of the show, and it was exceeded expectations. So went from looking sort of dire to having a show that exceeded my expectations on both my card side and the SGC submission side. And so that was a nice, pleasant hour drive home, and very, very happy with it. The promoters are happy as well that they can advertise. SGC bulk subs can be submitted there, and I think that's starting to get a little momentum. Saw a lot of new subbers this month in comparison to the first month. So very, very pleased with that recent show. And when you combine the both shows, it was a really great 2 weeks, and no complaints. And anyone telling you the hobby's dead doesn't know what they're talking about, or they're trying to get clickbait. Now, is the hobby in a different place? It sure is. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But there's lots of transactions being made still, and that really just indicates the overall health of the hobby. And I think, again, when we talk about the crescendo and during the pandemic, I think that was just, it just was the perfect storm for skyrocketing hobby. And you knew that had, to end sometime. You have to adapt, you have to adjust, you have to lower your prices, check comps. And as a dealer, if you're willing to do that, you should do pretty well. And so, I'm still enjoying doing the shows. My next show is not until January in Watertown, but my next big fairground show is not till March. So it's going to be a while for another big show. I have considered maybe traveling a little bit more, but we'll see how that pans out. Traveling's not as easy in my older age as it was for the younger version of me, but still enjoy doing shows. What's fun about the Watertown show is I get to do it. My good friend Chad, who's the godfather of my son Jordan. My friend Nick is next to us, Nick Dio, and the fairground show too. I'm usually next to Nick Brower from AAN Collect, and so it's nice when you do shows with people you have that camaraderie. The time seems to go quick, and even sometimes if you don't have a great show, but you're next to someone whose company you enjoy, you can kind of cut it up, have fun, and that sort of thing, and make the best of it. And I'm fortunate and to be in that situation with my show set up, and so it's I'm having fun. It is a little bit of a grind, truth be told, but because I'm having fun and with folks I know, that makes that grind all the more worthwhile. So shows are still being highly attended. We could debate whether maybe if there's too many shows, those numbers start to come down. But right now, with the shows I'm doing, I don't have any complaints with the people walking through the door. And the SGC bulk sub thing is doing very well. I enjoy doing it, and again, they have great turnaround times, nice specials, and so I think people are very happy with the service there. So I'll continue to do so until I'm told otherwise. So with that being said, that is my double show review, if you will, and we'll see you very soon. All right, thank you for listening to another episode of Hobby Quick Hits. Want to give out our social media, starting with our website, which is www.sportscardnationpodcast.com. Facebook, you can follow us at www.facebook.com/sportscardnationpodcast/. Twitter, we are at sportscardnati1, so it's sportscard NATI1. Instagram at sportscardnationpodcast, or you can email the show hobbyquickhits@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.